Hey everyone, it's Josh here, and in today's software tutorial, I'm going to be giving you a complete breakdown on how to use the Facebook Ads Manager platform. I'm going to be walking you through how to create your first advertisement campaigns, your first ads, and walk you through the user interface so that you know how to hit the ground running creating your very first Facebook ads. Without further ado, let's get into everything there is to know so that you have all the tools, software, and skill knowledge, how to get started with your first campaigns, your first ads, and how to absolutely crush it on the Facebook Ads Management platform. Now, before we get right into the video, I want to give a quick mention to a third-party ads platform called Voluum, spelled V-O-L-U-U-M, that is really good at actually managing your different types of conversions and tracking your advertisement statistics. It can certainly improve your campaigns, and I highly encourage you to go check it out. Link will be in the description below. But with that being said, let's get right into the Facebook Ads Management platform. So this is just a brief demo account that I've set up with myself, and we've got, good evening, Josh. Well, here's what's happening with your account today, campaign trends, etc. But we can see here, there's a couple options for us from the left-hand side of the screen. There is the account overview, which is where we're at now. There's the campaigns, where you can view all the information about the current campaigns you're running, the ads reporting, the audiences that you currently have set up, the billing and payments, the ad account settings, and even more tools, of which there are many. But before we get into exploring all the tools on Facebook's ad management platform, let's talk about why we're creating an ad, who we're creating the ad for, and what we're trying to create. Knowing these things, pretty much who we want to actually target this ad toward, what we are trying to achieve, whether it's conversions on our website or just getting more business awareness regarding our brand, and actually making sure that we know the people that are going to be interested in these ads. Making sure that we have all these things figured out is going to make it infinitely easier for Facebook to put the right amount of content out and market it to the right people so that when our ads hit Facebook, we effectively get the results we want and our ad in front of the right person at the right time. So jumping right in here, we're going to simply go over to the side and hit campaigns. Now on our campaign page, this is where we can see a whole bunch of different details about our different Facebook ad campaigns. We have things like our campaign name, delivery, bid strategy, the way we want Meta to bid in the auction based on our cost goals and the optimization for ad delivery, budget, attribution setting, etc., impressions, cost per result, all the analytics regarding the current campaigns we're running. So let's create our first one right now. All we have to do in this case is simply go to the green button that says create, and we simply have to choose a campaign objective. Again, knowing what you want to achieve with your campaign is one of the first steps to actually making a successful Facebook ad campaign. You want to make sure that you're reaching the right market with the right ad. But if somebody actually clicks on your ad, where do you want them to go? What do you want to achieve? Of course, there's a ton of different options here. We have things like awareness. This is just good for getting your brand in the face of as many people as possible. Say you're local in an area and you want as many people to know about your business as possible. This is a great tool for that, but it might not always be the case for your business. Sometimes you just want to get traffic to a website. Sometimes you want engagement, more people to comment, like, share, etc. You want to actually generate some leads, and maybe it's an app promotion, or maybe you're actually trying to sell something. That being said, if somebody clicks on your ad and goes to your website, if they don't actually make a sale, then the ad didn't convert correctly. Knowing what your actual target is going to make things better. So in our case, we're going to actually say, we're going to do this for sales. We're selling something. So if I click on this here, we can go to continue. But before we do that, it's important to know what buying type we have. Now, the two different types that are available to us are auction and reservation. And as you can see here, auction has a lot more options. So we're going to select sales and naming our campaign, as that's an optional thing. We can either set our campaign name, create the ad set, create the ad, pretty much just store the information about what our ad and what our ad campaign are actually called. Now in my case, I'm just not going to name our campaign right now. There's a whole bunch of different details we can add, but we'll save that for a future video. We'll hit continue here and go through the next step where we can actually choose our campaign setup. Now it'll say create your sales campaign using a tailored and streamlined setup or manually build your campaign. Now on a bunch of different ad platforms, Facebook included, this is one of the platforms where they can actually set up most of it for you. Say you're not too knowledgeable on the different types of ways you can actually appeal to people with your ads. Well, Facebook can use other products in other similar industries to create ad sets for you. But in our case, we're going to do it manually so that I can show you step by step how to use this platform exactly as it was intended. And from here, we can simply go and select manual setup, as we can show every feature this way. From here, I'll hit continue, and we can see we've got our first campaign set up, new sales campaign. Here, we can see our campaign name, new sales campaign, and special ad categories. The reason this exists is because Facebook has different legal obligations depending on if our ads actually apply to a couple categories. The different options for this include ads for credit card offers, employment offers, housing offers, social issues. Facebook has different legal obligations that they're required to fulfill prior to actually putting up ads of these types of nature. But assuming that you don't actually have any of these, we're going to go and say none of the categories to declare, and get right into it. The buying type we're going to set as auction, which is the standard, and campaign objective is sales. We can also use a catalog to reach the people most likely to engage with our products. We can also select our catalog at the ad level, creative only. Now, in our case, we're going to keep this as off, and we can have the option to actually do A and B testing, giving two different, slightly different ads to our audience to see which one of them converts more. Or we can actually have an advantage campaign budget, which will distribute the budget currently across our ad sets we're delivering. Now, because we don't have any ads set up, we don't need this at this current moment, but this is always an option available to us in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and hit next here, and we'll get right into the next set. Where is our conversion location? What are we trying to drive people towards? If somebody clicks on their ad, are they going to message us through Messenger? Are they going to get redirected to our website so that they can buy our products there? Where is it that we want them to go? Or in our case, app, website app, we're just going to set website as this beginning stand. And what the performance goal is the maximum number of conversions, maximum number of landing page views. What is it we want to achieve? Now, in our case, we're going to assume for the moment that we have a website that sells products. It could be sporting wear, it could be fitness equipment, it could be something, but we want to redirect them from the ad we show on Facebook to the physical product purchasing that they do on our website. So in our case, our goal is not just getting people to our website, but actually making the conversion, making the purchase. So for this, we'll say maximum number of conversions, or we could also choose maximum value of conversions, meaning that it's not about the people who go to the website and make the purchases, it's about the people who go to the website and make the biggest purchases. So in our case, we're not going to do that, but that's always an option that's available to us. Something that's also included here is something called the cost per result goal. Let's say you have a specific product in mind that you want to sell. You really want to sell, let's say a beanie, for example, and it's $20 and you want to sell the beanie. Well, how much are you willing to pay at maximum to get somebody to come to your website and buy a beanie? Well, let's say, for example, you're willing to pay no more than $5 to get one conversion. Facebook will automatically try and redirect your ad traffic and redirect the audience that is actually going to your website in order to make it so that they are trying to achieve that cost per result goal. They try their best, and it's not always the most accurate, but that's why it's optional. Much as we've talked about with different ad platforms, this is where the Meta Pixel comes in hand. Now, the Meta Pixel basically allows Meta, or Facebook, to actually understand the data coming from our website. It's not enough to actually just get redirected from our ad, but actually getting to our website and understanding how many people get there and actually make the purchase or conversion is going to allow Meta to actually store those analytics here. And to do that, all we have to do is hit Create Pixel and follow those steps. We're going to actually skip the process of creating a Meta Pixel because that could be a whole other video on its own, but in our case, just know that if you're driving external traffic to a website and you want to actually take analytics from the website and see the conversions there and bring that back to Facebook to manage the traffic on your campaigns, you will have to create that Meta Pixel. But we're going to continue on here down to the budget and schedule. It's also important to note that you can actually toggle something called Dynamic Creative on, which would provide creative elements such as images, headlines, and Facebook will automatically generate different captions and combinations based on our audience. They will basically smart optimize your campaigns to make them run better. Now, in my case, because I want to be really specific about what my audience is seeing, I'm going to set this as off. But if you're a little bit of a beginner at Facebook marketing and you specifically just want to have these things tried out and have Facebook try to optimize it based on what they think will perform best, this is always an option available to you. Now, as we're going through here, on the right-hand side of the page, you can see that as we define specific things, we're going to start to see our audience size. In our case, it ranges from specific to broad. And as I always say, the audience you want to have is somewhere in the middle, a sweet spot of sorts between showing your ad to everyone and showing your ad to such a very specific group of people that not a lot of people purchases it. Let's say, for example, your ad gets shown to 100 million people, but 100 million people don't want to buy your product. Well, then that's not going to be a very effective ad campaign. On the other end of the spectrum, if only 10 people see your ad and all of them buy it, it's great, but only 10 people are interested. You want to find that sweet spot where it's people who are more likely to purchase your product or your service, or again, depending on your ad goals, but not so many that you're actually just drowning it out and not a lot of people are interested in your ad campaign, and Facebook gets confused about who to actually show your ads to. From this, we're going to actually go here and set our daily budget at $20 per day, and we'll see our start date and the time and the end date. That's actually optional. You can just keep this running without an end date in mind and turn it off or on whenever. Now, scrolling down here, we can actually schedule budget increases in advance based on certain days and times when we anticipate higher sales opportunities. This basically means that if you know a lot more of your audience are actually going to be active and online on Facebook on maybe a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday compared to the rest of the week, you can set specific days and times that you're going to actually spend more on ads. Say we're doing, $20 a day for Monday through Friday, but on Saturday and Sunday, we're doing $100 a day. Obviously, you would start to see different results depending on how much you're spending per day on Facebook ads. In addition to this, we can actually set our ad scheduling from run ads all the time, which is, not editable by default, because it's only available when we use a lifetime budget. Basically meaning that instead of setting an ad per day, we set a start goal and an end date. Now, because we've actually set this as just a start date only, we can't actually set the specific ad scheduling, but if we set a specific start date and end date and a lifetime budget across the whole thing, that is when we can choose specific moments within that to actually run our ads. Now, the next stage here is actually creating our audience. Again, it's a very important thing to know who is going to be seeing your ad versus who is going to be performing the business action of your ad. Whether that's actually clicking through to your profile, going to your website and making a purchase. Somebody seeing your ad is one thing, but somebody actually doing what you want them to do and the whole reason that you're running your advertisement campaigns is completely different. So we want to target the second of those. So in my case, we'll say location Canada, and I can also say, let's do United Kingdom, and we can do different things like that. We can zoom in on different parts and we can see based on this map what actual areas we're targeting our ads towards. We can choose the minimum age that we're actually showing these ads to, and we can exclude custom audiences that we might know might not be interested in our product. Now, when it comes to setting up your audience, there's two different options here. Now, by default, the one that you're going to see is called Advantage Plus Audience. That's where Facebook takes a look at your ad and automatically figures out who is going to be the person who should be the right person to view that ad. Now, if you're a beginner, I highly recommend starting with this just so that you can see who the type of people are that are going to be interested in your ads. But if you're someone who's got a little bit more experience or are certain the type of person or demographic who's going to be specifically interested in what you're advertising, then you can always go down to the bottom here and hit switch to original audience options. And for that, you can actually set all of the audience options by yourself. Your demographics, your location, what those people are interested in, etc. Now, if you want to learn more about Advantage Plus, all you would have to do is hit that button and hit Learn More About Advantage Plus Audience. But in our case, we're going to hit Use Original Audience so that we can see what it actually is to create that first audience. In our case, let's scroll down here and let's create that new audiences. And we can start by searching for existing audiences. Let's say for the moment that we're going to be actually selling something on our website like, I don't know, pickleball rackets. So what does the audience who's going to be interested in buying a pickleball racket look like? Well, we have to create our first custom audience here. Now, there's a couple different options when it comes to creating your first audience. All we have to do is hit Create New, and we can actually reach people who have already interacted with our business, being a custom audience, or a lookalike audience, reaching new people on Meta who are similar to our most valuable audiences. So let's say in this case, we do custom audience, we reach people who have already interacted with our business, and we click that. We can see that we can actually retarget people who have already clicked on our ads, watched our ads, etc. We have tons of different options when it actually comes to making sure we know what the type of actions a user must perform before being put in this custom audience. But in our case, we're simply going to set it based on sports interests alone. And more specifically, focusing on what type of interest the person, the one specific person we have in mind who would be interested in purchasing our product would be. So let's go ahead and start by adding our interests to our first new audience. Now, of course, if we're selling a pickleball racket online, we should actually include pickleball as the type of thing somebody like this would be interested in. So we'll type this in here, pickleball, sport. Now that we've got pickleball on there, we could add different things like additional interests. We can see broken down by industry. Scrolling through, we'll go to sports and outdoors, sports, and we can see the different types of things we've got in there. Maybe the person who's going to buy a pickleball racket is also interested in tennis, so we can add that on there. Now, maybe we have some specific criteria for who we want to see our ads, like the person we want to see our ad has maybe a bachelor or a master's degree, or maybe he's over the age of 40. All these different specific desires that you can actually add to your audience will tell Facebook a little bit more each time you add them who you actually want to see your ad. And although it won't make it so that Facebook is showing this ad to those specific people right off the bat, over time, as more people who are in that audience see your Facebook ad, it'll make it easier for Facebook to pick up the ball and run with it so that more of the people that you really want to see your ad get shown your ad. In the event that we can't really think of some, we can also go to the suggestions here and we can see different things that are related to us. So we can say, table tennis, we can say, okay, golf channel, different things like that. And then from there, we can currently just add a whole bunch of things on there, scroll through, we can see different things. Okay, Rory McIlroy, PGA Tour. We're getting into more golf things, but you can start to see how you can start to build a custom audience around what you think your audience would be interested in. But we're going to move on here, now that we've got our audience set up. Now, despite the fact that we don't actually have Advantage Plus turned on, we do have something called Advantage Detailed Targeting, which basically means it's not only going to show this ad to the people that we've listed or the types of people who would be interested in the topics that we described, but a little bit more beyond that, just so that you can still have that broader scope so that Facebook can learn what actually makes people like your ads. And again, we can actually choose whether we want to use Advantage Plus for the places that our ads are shown or manual. Clicking manually here, we can show which places we actually want to have our ads shown. Facebook, Audience Network, Instagram, Messenger. Do we want to have them in the feeds, stories and reels, in-stream ads for videos and reels, search results, apps and sites? we have different places that we can actually have this. And again, if you're a beginner at Facebook ads, I highly encourage you to stick with Advantage Plus for now, just so that you can actually understand where your ads are going to perform best. Because if you're not really sure if your ads are going to perform better in the feed or in search results, well, having Facebook manage that for you and analyzing the data specifically will allow you to have more optimized campaigns without breaking the bank as much. And if we're looking at the right-hand side of the screen here, we can start to see the different pieces of information related to audience definition, whether our audience is specific or broad, and what the estimated daily results are, the amount of people we're actually going to be reaching, and how many conversions Facebook estimates that we'll actually hit. All right, now we can actually go and create our very first ad. As you can see here, I've just set up an example Facebook page here so that we can actually have this Facebook page tied to our ads. We can also run a partnership ad with specific content creators. We can set our ad name as new sales ad, and we can actually create a template that we can use for future ads. Now, the options for our ad setup include create ad, use existing post, or use Creative Hub mockup. Now, there's a big difference here in two things. One, boosting your post to actually make it an ad, or two, having a dark post. Dark posts are ads that only exist as ads. When they're advertised, that's when you see the post. When they're not advertised anymore, you don't see them. This is different from actually taking a post that you've created and posted organically on your Facebook page and actually making that an ad. So in our case, we're going to do a dark post just from scratch and say create ad. And we're going to do manual upload to upload our images. We'll do a single image or video, but we do have the option of doing a carousel or a collection. And we also have this option for multi-advertiser ads. Now, if we scroll down here, we can actually add our media, set our primary text. So let me just create a little mock-up here for us. Okay, so I've gone ahead and set up just a little bit of a basic ad here for computer services. We've added an image here, and we can see on the right-hand side where it starts to look in different places across feeds and different places, right column. We can scroll through stories and reels on Instagram, etc. We can also see the primary text that we've set, which I've just said, get your computer fixed, which is not the best headline, but it'll do for now. And we can see that it actually has suggested text variations. Fix your computer now, get your computer fixed now, get your computer fixed now, experience a seamless computing experience. So we'll do that, and we'll just add different types of primary text. It's very important here to have some alternate text so that Facebook can actually show different variations of your ad to different people. It's better to have a variety of different advertising options for Facebook to show so that Facebook can know which ads are actually the best to show, rather than just having all of your eggs in one basket on one ad that might not perform as well. From here, I'll just add the different text variations here, and we'll make sure we don't have any duplicates, and we can set different headlines here just so that Facebook can try them out differently. And we can set our description and actually choose our call to action, which is what is actually going to be seen on the button here on the right-hand side, which in our case, it's learn more. We can also make our call to action something like apply now, book now, buy tickets. Again, depending on your specific business needs, where are they going? Now, in my case, I'm just going to go through and we'll say shop now, assuming that you're actually going to go and buy something here. And we'll say Advantage Plus Creative. Tailor your ad for the person viewing it by letting us automatically optimize your creative. Again, this is making sure that Facebook has the opportunity, especially if you don't have much experience with it, to tailor your ads based on what Facebook sees as being the best way to actually show your ad to the most people. Next thing would be actually putting in our destination URL here, putting the display link, and showing what the browser add-ons are. Do we want to add a call button to our website? Do we want to add a WhatsApp button from our website? Do we want to send people to a fast-loading mobile optimized experience? This is all here for us. And we can also see the tracking down here. Now in the tracking section at the bottom here, this is where we can actually start to add third-party platforms to also track our analytics in regard to how people are clicking and interacting with our ad. The last thing we would have to do here before we go ahead and hit publish is go to the top here and simply hit review. If we hit this, we can see all the details about our ad, which page it's going to go on, what the formats are, what the website URL is, in this case we haven't added one, and what the ad previews actually look like across all of our different ways that we're going to be showing our ad to our potential customers. From there, all we have to do is go ahead and hit the publish button and our ad will be live. Now, before you go ahead and actually hit the publish button here, make sure that you go through briefly just Facebook's terms and advertising guidelines, just to make sure that your advertisement complies with those guidelines. This is, of course, because Facebook is going to make sure that your ad complies with the guidelines of being shown on its website and is not inappropriate or misleading. If it's a scam ad, obviously Facebook doesn't actually want it on its website. So in the 1 to 2 days it's going to take to actually get reviewed before it goes live, Facebook is going to make sure that everything on your ad is as it's intending to. And as long as you have that set within Facebook's guidelines, you should be all good to go. Without further ado, let's go ahead and hit publish and get our ad live. Now in my case, I'm not actually going to hit that live button here because this is just a sample ad that we've set up. But assuming we actually had that campaign live, all we'd have to do is go back to here and we can see all the different campaigns we're running, and we can actually go and view our charts, see our history, etc., when we're creating our first set of ad campaigns and our first set of ads for them. Now this one's in draft, but we can actually go to the next tab here, which says ads reporting. We can actually go through here and actually see all the different details about our ads, the campaign name, what the delivery is, and all of this across all of our campaigns. And on the right-hand side here, this is a extremely extensive analytics tab, which actually allows us to see the delivery, who's seeing our ad, and give us all the information we need to effectively take our ads to the next level. As you can see here, I've already started creating an untitled report for this ad account where we can start to store and understand all the information regarding all of our ad campaigns and all the ads that are running across them. Facebook allows a lot of extensive analytics for you to actually understand what's working with your ads, what's not. Maybe something that you think is going to be converting well really isn't, and maybe you think something is not going to convert very well, but it actually does. Continuing on from here, we can actually go through to our audiences tab where we can see the audience that we're actually reaching with our ads. Because again, everything that we're doing is making sure that we're getting the right ad in front of the right person at the right time. So from here, we can see that we can reach the accounts that matter to us, the audience that matters to us, the people that matter to us. We can create that custom audience who have already shown interest in our ads. For example, if someone has seen our ad before or has clicked on it but hasn't made a conversion on our website, we want to retarget that person, show more ads to them. Maybe if you're trying to get conversions from your website, showing the ad to the person for the first time, the fourth time, or maybe even the 10th time isn't going to be enough for them to convert. But by making sure you have a custom audience set up to continually show ads to those people, maybe they will convert eventually. The next thing we have, of course, is creating a lookalike audience. We have audiences that we already care about, and we don't want to spend time creating an entire new one. What we can do is create what's called a lookalike audience. It basically means that we can create an audience that looks near identical to the one that we have originally set up, but it has just enough adjustments to reach a whole new group of people. The final one, of course, is our saved audiences. This is where we basically can create a template for any future audiences we have if the business and services we offer generally stay in the same field. Now, of course, instead of going and creating a new audience from scratch every single time, you can just simply create a saved audience that you tweak a little bit depending on your specific product offerings and services. Now, of course, to actually get our ads running, we're going to need to set up a billing and payments account so we can actually put a credit card on so that Facebook can actually charge us to actually start putting ads on the platform. Then, of course, we have our ad account settings. Now, of course, as you can see here, there's a ton of tools to work with, from just managing our business alone to actually getting our ad account settings set up properly with our ad limits per page, ads manager, audiences, and all the analytics to actually understand all the details about our ads and the campaigns we're running. All the different tools available to us centrally revolve around that idea that we are trying to get our ad in front of the right person at the right time to achieve a specific goal. And we can actually use the analytics to understand what's working well, what isn't working well, the advertising section to create our campaigns and our ads, and the managed business to make sure that our ads are in the right place and all the admin work is set up properly for us. If we go to the ad account settings page, it'll actually take us in here where we can see all the different details about our ad account setup, in our case, what account controls we have, all these details, and Advantage Plus shopping campaigns, a whole bunch of different options that are available to us that we're not going to get into too much in this video, but do really level up your campaigns in the long term. And that's it. It's that easy. By the end of this video, you should have completed your first campaign, your first ad for that campaign, and understood a little bit of the different options that you have available to you on the Facebook ads platform, including the tools for analytics, creating custom audiences, etc. All about that core idea of making sure that you get your ad in front of the right person at the right time so that you could achieve a specific result. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, my name is Josh Mountain. I'll see you in the next one.